Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust and Liquid Noises. Hope nobody has to use the restroom because that's going to make the problem a little bit more of a problem, I guess. But yeah, welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Jumping out haphazardly of our sidey hole here because it's in the side of a mountain and has a window. It's a term that I coined a couple episodes ago, so it really has no sentimental bearing on us whatsoever. But yeah, welcome back to Farlands or Bust. This is episode 563 for your Thursday, February 25th, 2016, as we continue walking west here in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, as we have been doing. Dang it. I'm going to try to keep walking west. There we go. As we have been doing, excuse me for getting so angry at the dirt, as we have been doing for the past nearly 5 years. I looked it up yesterday during the live stream, the Twitch Tuesday, and I've been telling you false information. I kept thinking it was March 2nd or 3rd that I uploaded the first episode of this series, and consequently the first in a long line of Let's Play videos to my YouTube channel. No, it was March 6th. And now, even now, I'm doubting that. No, it was March 6th. March 6th is when episode 1 of Minecraft Adventures, episode 001. Even back then, I knew it would. I would need triple digits for my episodes. I might actually need 4, but we'll deal with that when we deal with it. But yeah, it was way back on March 6th is the official 5-year anniversary, YouTube-iversary of starting Let's Plays. So there. So there's that correction for you. You can't tell me I'm wrong. I told myself I was wrong. But yeah, we're going to continue on here anyway in episode 563. We are up to $22,862.21 raised for Child's Play charity, 38% of the way to our $60,000 goal. Over at farlandsorbust.com is where you can donate. Hold on, it seems... Should we try it without the fog? I don't know. Nah. A lot of people, some people recommended, maybe you should look to make sure Minecraft is running on your graphics processor as opposed to your CPU. And that's really only a problem if you're playing with a laptop that has... built-in graphics into the CPU, as most of those laptop CPUs do. Not a problem here. So that's not the problem, and certainly not a problem with memory. Well, I mean, Minecraft and Java in general can only be spoon-fed so much memory of the 32 gigs that this computer has. But that ain't a problem either. So yeah, I don't know. It's still a mystery. I don't know if there's anybody much smarter than me who can maybe figure out why I got those random freezes. But we're alright with the fog. A little slight fog distance. Even you can see it there before it starts to disappear. It makes happening upon some interesting terrain all that more of an experience. Woof. I have some perhaps past tense space news, although I'm speaking future tense of myself, but tonight I record these a day early, so it's Wednesday. Wednesday night, SpaceX will launch yet another Falcon 9 rocket, this time from Florida, and they will once again be attempting landing on the floating barge. The floating barge, obviously they successfully landed on solid ground. They attempted to land on the barge off of California, and they successfully did so, except that one of the landing legs didn't engage, and it toppled over the rocket. So they're going to attempt that again, and apparently it's, I kind of always thought that was just like a test bed, but no, that's something they're going to use over and over again, and they're going to try to perfect the barge landings, because there are some flight profiles, particularly those like this particular satellite, the SES satellite, I believe, is a geosynchronous... or at least it needs to be lifted to a very high altitude, much more than simple, say, International Space Station altitude. So the first stage rocket carries a lot more oomph behind it to get it out there. And then from that momentum can't turn around and get all the way back to the land, to the launch pad. So they set the barge out there as a little bit of a shorter landing target to get. So yeah, I didn't really fully comprehend that at first. I always thought that the barge was just like, oh, we'll just test landing on the barge to make sure we don't crash into any houses or something back on land. But no, it's going to be something that they're going to keep on trying to use. So I will be tuning into that, and I hope you have as well, and I hope it went successful. And if it didn't go successful, then it might be turned around in 24 hours, and they might be trying again tonight while you're watching this episode of Far Lands of Us, Thursday night. Who knows? It's all a mystery. I'm only a Time Lord in Minecraft skinness and not in real life, my friends. Didn't you know this? Were you not aware? Oh, man. But yeah, a little bit of space news there. We had I'm feeling it, but we had a very long, came back to Twitch Tuesday with a vengeance the other day, this past Tuesday, with a 7-hour live stream. That's longer than some of the days of the Flobathons have passed. Did a lot of stuff, checked out the bustling town of Farlander patron serverness. Did our final Minecraft bingo seed challenges before Dr. Brian Lorgon 111 updates it to version 3.0 for Minecraft version 1.9 when that eventually comes out. And then what did we do? Oh, then we played some Rocket League. I got a very satisfying highlight from Rocket League. And then finished it up with some attempts at speed UHCs with our friend MK the Worst. But the server lag was the worst in that scenario, so that was quickly abandoned. But yeah, pretty good. But I'm feeling also I should consider I still don't have coffee, and I didn't get coffee today. I need to perhaps look into. I'm very hesitant about subscription services, but perhaps I should look into one of those. I mean, even Intelligentsia has like, oh, choose your coffees, and we'll send you once a month or once every 2 weeks or whatever, and you won't have to worry about reordering. My problem is I like to try a lot of different coffees, so I can't say, yes, this is the coffee that I want for the next millennia. No, I tend to be like, oh, I haven't tried this one yet, or ooh, this one seems interesting. This one has some notes of tobacco and dark chocolate and nougat, as opposed to the one I tried last week, which had hints of caramel and honeydew melon. That's how they describe them on the website. I sure as heck can't discern those flavors as delicately, but yeah, I mean, maybe I should do that, because I always wait too long. I'm like, oh, I'll place an order. Oh, I'll place an order. And then I'm down to like my last 3 scoops of coffee beans. I'm like, oh, I should have placed an order. And now I have to wait till Friday for this one to get delivered, because they deliver it via FedEx SurePost. What a abomination of delivery services that is. I'll give it to FedEx. FedEx will deliver it to the post office, and then the post office will take their sweet time delivering it to you. We can't lose. Oh, man. But, sorry. That's a strange thing to be upset about, Kurt. That's something that my grandpa complains about. Oh, man. That was your voice. Although I didn't change it. I should have changed it, so you knew it was the viewer's voice. This isn't the viewer's voice either. This is just an asthmatic whisperer. But, yeah, so I need coffee, so I'm feeling my eyeballs in much more detail than I normally do when I have coffee in the morning. Ow! I just let that happen very slowly, didn't I? So yeah, and it's also possibly due to the fact that I live stream for 7 hours straight. I rarely play video games that long. Normally my recording endurance is about an hour, my endurance is, ladies, and I can't go much beyond that. I mean, even playing, I remember we played, I might have mentioned this already, the Sonic Super Duper Racing All-Stars, or whatever it was called, And I hadn't recorded with that group before, kind of the Nintendo, the Mario Kart group, whatever. And they like record for 2 hours at a time, and they just get like a whole bunch of episodes up and running all at once. And I'm like, this is exhausting, my friends. I can only really go an hour. You get 2 or 3 episodes, depending on if you have 30-minute episodes or 20-minute episodes at a time. And then you're like, okay, I'm done with this game now. Let's go and arrange the edit and get it rendering, and then let's play another game for an hour to get 2 or 3 more episodes. But no. Whew. So we're going to have to... Well, I'm not planning on many 7-hour... or any 7-hour live streams during the stream a weekday March situation next month. But hopefully my endurance keeps up with this. March isn't a long month, is it? Oh man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that though. I might do a couple more, or 1 or 2, just really quick test streams. I tried out... Let's go to sleep. I'll tell you what I tried out in the morning. And trying out stuffness. I tried out on the new computer OBS Studio, previously known as OBS Multi-Platform. It was basically a new but separate fork of the OBS program, completely written from scratch, I'm led to believe, and meant to be multi-platform, more than just Windows, and be kind of more based on, instead of it's kind of bare bones, and then they're kind of depending on plugins and things to fill in the gaps, I think. Tried it out, it works. And it is kind of simple and easy to set up, but there's a lot of weird quirks. I think because it is kind of aimed at perhaps people who are more used to more proper, I suppose, studio-based professional applications and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know that many other people who do use the studio version. I just figured I'd give it a shot since I'm starting from scratch anyway with the new computer. Spawner. So, oh, Wolfie, don't get swept into the undertow of the current there. Ah, he's going right for it. Stop it. All right. Well, this is a thing we're doing now. Might need more dirt. Who's... Oh, the chicken. I'm like, whose footsteps? Who's making footsteps around here? Freaking me out, man. All right. This is fairly straightforward, I do believe. Wolfie agrees. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to your standard OBS and get that up and running before we dive into the stream a day situation in March. But yeah, I think that's all I kind of wanted to talk about that. I do have questions here. Let me take care of this spawner. Let me concentrate, and then I'll get to the questions from donors. All right, how's this doing? That should have done it, right? Yep. That'll do it. That's just back when, in this version of the game, only the top levels of a body of water, only the top layer was source blocks. The old zombie spawner with only a single chest. Wow, it's a lot of bread. Redstone, wheat, I guess. Really? Only a single? Yeah, I guess. Unless there's... No? Well, that's disappointing, my zombie friends. I will not be giving you a stairway out. What'd you get? Alright. That was a waste of time now, wasn't it? So yeah, let's continue on. Let's answer a question here from Michael from Germany. If you could choose any time and place in the past to stay there for 1 day and observe, which time and place would it be? He asked as if this was some sort of trivia game show. You have 20 seconds, Bob. That is a difficult one to answer. I mean, you want it to be something, obviously this is for one day. Okay, what something of significance happened in one day that you could observe or exist in that realm? Perhaps, I don't know the date off the top of my head. Is it July 20th, 1969? I think it's July 20th, when Apollo 11 landed on the moon. I mean, a lot of other stuff was happening on around that time that maybe wasn't so good, so perhaps just going for a day for that day would be interesting to experience. Obviously, I couldn't experience it on the moon, but, you know, whether or not just, you know, everybody always, who was alive during that time, they all have the stories of where they were or what they were watching or huddled around the little 13-inch black and white television screen or the old radiation box and watching live the first steps on the moon. I mean, that would be interesting, even though, yes, I've seen that in a you know, in the playback and the replay of the archive, but I suppose that excuse me, Wolfie. Yeah, I'm not like a huge history buff. Maybe I'll go back and hang out with Galileo when he first saw Jupiter through his telescope and the moons, just to see how much he freaked out about it. Just the way I freaked out about it when I first saw Jupiter and its moons through my little rinky-dink department store telescope. I was like, whoa, moons! Those aren't stars, those are the moons! And then the rings of Saturn. He probably had a worse view than I did, even a little 60 or 40 millimeter telescope that I had. A little plasticky thing. But then again, I don't know that he would have freaked out. He was a scientist. He took notes. He wrote down his drawings. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some sort of discovery or something positive like that. I don't know. That's a really rough question to answer. Well, not rough, but tough. It's difficult. It's really rough, man. It's put me through a lot. Yeah, how about what time and date and place would you go into the past and visit just for a single day? A single day. I don't know. That's tough. A lot of cool stuff is happening nowadays. What with rovers landing on Mars and, you know, gravitational waves being discovered and blah, 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 blah. I feel like... Yeah, I don't know. I should maybe... No, I shouldn't. That would ruin the theme of the show. That is, Kurt is not prepared to answer these questions. Not MP4 is what I titled all of these videos. Yeah, I don't know. I guess leave your comments if you can think of one, and then maybe we'll be like, oh yeah, that's great. But I don't... I can't, like, put my finger specifically on something. But thank you for the donation to Child's Play Charity and the question. Michael from Germany. Simon asks, as one introverted gamer to another, I am excited for PAX Australia. Am I going to PAX Australia? I'm not going to PAX Australia. Later this year, which will be my first ever convention. I hope to use this opportunity to meet some longtime friends there and hang out. So I wonder... Oh, these are friends. Okay, these are friends you already know. Like, they're friends. They've been friends for a long time, and you're looking forward to meeting them. Okay, you're not going there hoping to suddenly magically meet people who are going to become your long-term friends, right? I was a little bit confused about that, because I'm like, that might not work out in your favor, my friend. So I wonder, do you have any tips to make the event more painless? And would you ever go to any of these conventions if you weren't meeting any friends? All right, that seals the deal as to what he was meeting previously. That's scary. Careful, Wolfie. Oh, gosh, careful, Wolfie. No, no, avoid the chasm, please. Any tips? Well, did I drop something important? No, okay. As I mentioned before, I feel like, as of late, that I've been doing the conventions wrong, quote-unquote, wrong for Kerjmac, or not the way that I'm getting... Not that I, like, expect to get anything out of it, or I need to get something out of it, but, yeah, I'm personally reevaluating my own, approach to attending conventions or whatever, and it's a little bit different when you're... You know, you have meetups and, like, sign autographs and booth stuffs and panels sometimes. So it's a little bit different of an experience for that versus just a pure attendee, I suppose. Would you ever go if it weren't for meeting any of your friends? Well, a situation where I did do stuff like that was those NASA tweet-ups, those NASA socials. They were called tweet-ups before, but now they're called NASA socials. You know, like, I went to the SpaceX NASA social not knowing anybody who was attending. I mean, there were people I, like, knew of because I'd seen them in the community, but I'd never really interacted with or felt comfortable being like, oh, it's you, I'm gonna go sit next to you. Similarly with the Juno, same thing, even more so with the Juno. I knew even less because that was my first NASA social, and... that, you know, that's a little bit awkward. I get into my head sometimes, and I get kind of weird about, like, oh, I hear this little group out of the corner of my ear is gonna go out to grab something to eat. Can I invite myself? Is that weird? That seems kind of weird, so I'm not gonna. So yeah, there's a lot of that. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea anymore to do that sort of thing. And I'm really surprised I did this, but I even went to attempt to watch the STS-133 space shuttle launch. I wasn't even part of the NASA social, but I just went on my own because with only 3 space shuttle launches remaining, I wanted to see a space shuttle launch up close, so I just went on my own in attempts to just see it from one of the public places. Not part of the NASA social, but I knew of some NASA social people who were there, so I did kind of, okay, I'll hang out with you sort of situation. But even that was kind of, because I wasn't actually part of the... I don't know. Probably not. I probably wouldn't just go not knowing anybody at all. You know, I just... Yeah, I would save myself that. Well, they're skeletons. Let's go to sleep and continue struggling for words in the morning. And get your bow out and at the ready, my friend. We waited too long to go to sleep then. I don't think I can make that jump, so I'm not going to try it. I think it's 2 blocks, but it might be 3. It was 2. So yeah, I don't think I... Careful, Wolfie. Yeah, and I didn't go... Who's dying? You're certainly not dying. Alright, nuts to you. Do I have a boat? I think I do. See you later, guy. So yeah, I don't think I would, in particular, go without knowing anybody who was also going to these things. Do I have any tips? Based on my own experience, maybe if you are going with a group or whatever of people, well, no, it's really tough. I was gonna say, well, make sure you're not like stuck in that group and at the whims of just what that group wants to do. Be able to, take time to like be like, okay, I'm gonna separate myself from the group and go see something I want to see, or go over here, or just kind of you get that recharge, that alone time. PAX is kind of good about that. They have their own AFK rooms. Just they're kind of like quiet rooms. They're study hall. They're just kind of AFK rooms to like take a break and be like, okay, we'll recover. So they kind of have that situation figured out. But I mean, even just on the convention floor or whatever, it can be a bit laborious to just be following somebody else or following a group of people. it's really nice to just split off from that and kind of wander around on your own, and kind of it helps you see more from your own perspective as opposed to the perspective of the group you're beholden to. There are a lot of these weird water glitches in today's episode, and that's a lighting glitch if I ever saw one. Get unglitchified. Oh, that's like an instant. Lights on, lights off. Lights on, lights off. Oh, dang, I've really fixed it. Well, that's no fun anymore. Ooh, look at that. So yeah, that's probably the best and only advice that I can give, because I'm personally still trying to figure it out. Some 4 PAXs I've attended in now. I'm still really trying to figure out the best way to exist during one of those, I suppose. But we'll figure it out eventually, I suppose, and I hope you figure it out as well, Simon at PAX Australia. Heard that's a pretty good one. Exploration and travel are a strong theme of your channel, says Ant with their donation. Flob, Eidolon, the Connor Sherlock walking simulators. Are there any YouTube channels you watch that have a similar theme, albeit on real-life exploration and travel? I'm sure there are. I mean, travel and leisure is one of the categories you can put your videos on YouTube, so I'm sure there are a bunch. Whether or not they just be vloggy stuff or actual organized, this is a traveling guide or something. And conveniently enough, also, when you export your Twitch highlights to YouTube, they are categorized under travel and leisure, so make sure you go back in and change that to gaming if you want to be showing up in the proper categories. So I'm sure there are. I do not watch any of them. So I can't recommend any. I can't even think of any gaming-wise that have the similar. I mean, there's a lot of Minecraft-related ones. You know, there's Dr. Brian Lorgon 111 Exploration and Tactics. His series is named Exploration. And there's a bunch of other people who play similarly, but I don't know that many others who play the weird, wacky walking simulators. I'm sure somebody has. Multiple people probably have. Like, has anybody done a Let's Play on Eidolon? Or that's not been more than just a highlight? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe you can suggest some in the comments below. But yeah, I'm sure there. Wow, look at all this stuff. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. It's like a big old spaceship. Whoa. All right. The lands are becoming fragmented as we get closer and closer to the far lands. We're not really close yet. This really has nothing to do with the far lands. Oh, neat, it's floating. Yeah, it is. It's a floater. Ooh, that's a spawner. Oop. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, unless they're visible. Nope, they're not. Huh. There's clearly a spawner down here. Maybe it's below the... Nope. Alright, well, I've looked more than I need to be looking, so we're going to, I know I'm going a little bit north here. I just want to check out this terrain. Let's see here. An anonymous donor and asker asks, I've been looking for podcasts on space news I could listen to during my commute, but haven't run across any I would enjoy listening to. Do you have any that you regularly listen to that you would recommend? No, again, because I don't listen to podcasts. I realize I have a podcast, but I don't listen to podcasts. I'll listen to like a podcast episode if there is like a topic or a guest that is showing up that I'm interested in or whatever, but I don't subscribe to or regularly listen to podcasts at all. Oh shoot, that reminds me, somebody representing like a podcast wanted to get in touch with me about an interview or something. I think I've sat on that far too long. Whoops. So, yeah, off the top of my head, no. I'm sure they exist. I know they exist. The one that I can think of is Star Talk Radio, which is probably the biggest one because it is hosted by Neil deGrasse Tyson, as well as he has typically a co-host who's a comedian. Lately, it's been Eugene Merman, who's really funny, and then they'll have either like other scientist guests or they'll have celebrity guests or whatever. Who then they'll tie in and talk about space news and astronomy and stuff in a very casual, not too scientifically specific way on Star Talk Radio. But I don't know of many. I mean, there's got to be tons of them out there. There's gotta be. Just like there's astronomy YouTube channels and stuff. Am I right? So yeah, I'm sorry I'm failing you on all these recommendations for more exploring channels or spacey science podcasts. I get the majority of like news and stuff still from blogs. Blogs, everybody. If you remember what a blog is and an RSS feed, I still rue the day they got rid of Google Reader, because that was my go-to. That was like my morning paper with my coffee, which I don't have right now. Flipping through all my blog feeds, and I have comics feeds, and I have now categories for space news and news and comics and car news and gaming news and stuff. So yeah, that's where I get my information. I suppose my very random and flawed information most of the time. Let's see here. I am actually running out of questions, my friends. If you would like to probably have your question answered, guaranteed, in the next episode of Farlands or Bust, donate to Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. And then in the comment box, ask a question, provide a topic. Make sure also to leave your name if you prefer, because donations are anonymous by default. Because I just have 2 questions left here on the old notepad I'm looking at. And then also, in conjunction with getting your question answered in the next episode, you'll be donating to Child's Play charity and helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. And that is A-okay with me. It's A-okay with Wolfie. Does it have the Wolfie seal of approval? It does. That was kind of... Maybe I can edit that so it seems like I ask it right as he said... No. Yeah, do that. And I'll get to it in the next step. Well, unless there's like 60 of them, then I'll get to some of them in the next episode. But it's a really good chance I can get to your question in the next episode and answer that. And we will continue walking to the Farlands and raising money for that Child's Play charity. Boy, I feel like this was perhaps just a barely passing grade on this episode's commentary. A little bit worn out from maybe the live stream still. My throat still feels a little bit worn from that. Whoop, careful, Wolfie. Where'd you go? Yeah, I know. It's exciting. Woo! All right. So maybe that has something to do with this. It's the lack of coffee. Maybe I should just make the point to go out to the coffee shop every morning until I have my coffee stock back in stock. Because this whole running on what little actual energy and personal whatever. Wow. I'm trying to think of the word, like, what's the chemical that, like, keeps you awake and... oh, no! A human being who functions. Is there a tree? Of course there's not. Here's one. I need to chop down a tree. I didn't have any, enough wood. Why didn't any of you warn me in the comments? We're fine. All right, now we can go back down and make the end of the episode. Whoops. End of the episode beds for the next episode. And yeah, I do appreciate everybody who hung out during the live stream, the long live stream yesterday. And that makes me looking forward to the more stream-a-day stuff next month. Like I said, farlandsofbus.com, donate to Child's Play charity, get your question to the top of the list for the next episode. And I appreciate you watching. Boop. My name is Kurt. Wow, this whole ending and the whole episode. Woof. That's all I gotta say about it. Woof. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Oof.